Hello, friends. Today I'm going to talk about a short film by Australian screenwriter, which was released in 2016 and immediately attracted internet attention. The director himself admitted that he wrote it, inspired by the sarcasm of his girlfriend. The girl, who had suffered from severe depression, said that her condition was like a dream in which everything was fine. But as soon as she woke up, she would be overcome by pain, which she compared to a sucking abyss. And the main task in her life became the ability to hold on and not fall into this abyss. The first shots are of the ocean, powerful, terrifying, overwhelming in its strength. Huge waves, like a symbol of inevitability, crash one after another, as if making it clear: if you run from one, another will surely catch you. The sound of the waves is heard by a young girl who comes to her senses on a smooth, curved concrete surface. She is on the edge one moment, and she will fly down into the frightening blackness. And above, only an unwelcoming sky. An imminent death is prevented only by a wrong move. So, concentrating on her difficult situation, she looks around and tries to turn to face the wall. But the sole of her shoe slips, and she almost falls. And then she abandons this attempt and lies on her back again. Taking a deep breath, the girl looks at her hands. Her right palm is torn up by the rough concrete. Her fingers are sticky with blood. Her young hands slide over the wet puddles. The girl wipes her palms on her clothes, blows on her wounds. She does the same with her other hand. Her obedient palms allow her to grip tighter. She pulls herself up a little. The main thing is not to rush and not to give up. She repeats the action again and gains a few more centimeters upwards. She can only help herself with one leg. The other is bent in an unnatural way, and attempts to straighten it led to the threat of a fall. And then she notices similar bloody traces on the opposite curve. So, someone else was also desperately clinging to life. She tries to pull herself up again and looks at the bloody marks. They clearly show how fiercely the person tried to hold on to the wall, how they scrambled upwards. The girl fights for every centimeter. She simply has no right to give up, drop her hands, and in her case, it's not just a figure of speech. And just when the hope of rescue becomes tangible and almost real, rain begins, washing away the traces of her predecessors. Her body slides down and she screams in despair. But no one hears her cries for help and no one rushes to help. The girl tears a large chain from her neck and winds it around her hand, trying to make a kind of spike out of it, and again presses her hands against the wall. She has no right to give up. The final shot. The curve is empty and virginally clean. Only the blackness below and the sound of the ocean. The film is symbolic from beginning to end. The viewer knows nothing about the heroine, who she is, how she got into such a desperate situation, what this place is. The author explains nothing, giving everyone the right to draw their own conclusions. So it's also an allegorical film. People, of course, are different. Some, finding themselves in a difficult situation, prefer to simply wait for it to resolve itself. Others pull themselves together and act, clawing their way up with their last strength. And there are those who choose the easiest path and are ready to jump into the black abyss themselves. One thing is clear. Even on the brink, a person has a choice: to give up and fly down, or to try to climb up, even if their hands or soul are in great pain. You should never doubt yourself and your abilities. A person must go to the end, to their goal, even if no one believes in them.